What exactly has your committee done? What can we point to say that, yes, you've done this, you've done that, perhaps in the areas of transparency, accountability, things we can put our fingers on that, yes, your committee has done to make a difference in privatization?
Thank you, Esther. Yeah, one of those things we did when we came into office is the issue of the power privatization ongoing now. As a committee, we make sure we work with them day in, day out, because we know if we can get it right, we know the committee, even the nation, will have achieved something. Even at all we get 60% of the constant power supply in Nigeria, we know that the economy will grow, the GDP will grow. In doing this, right from beginning to the end, we were on their neck, checking the timeline, checking the transaction dynamics, and making sure the enterprises, both the DISCO and the GENCOs, we are talking about generation and distribution companies, are sold in consonance with the spirit of the privatization, in consonance with the existing laws that guided the privatization enterprises. And if you look at what is happening, this is the first time in the country where privatization of enterprises went from beginning to the end on a time scale that is agreeable to international best practice and with transparency. In doing all this, we know there will be people that will complain, but then the complaints, yes. But at the same time, where even the people make mistakes, I'm talking of the BP, NCP, we pointed it to them that things are not supposed to be done in this way. We stood our ground to make sure we do not go to the past behaviors of people that handle those enterprises. The example is NITEL, MTEL. You will see the personal interest of what happened to NITEL. You will see that the privatization exercise of that enterprise is not to the best interest of the Federal Republic. And at the same time, each time I have opportunity of meeting BP or NCP, and I do tell them we will not go the way of NITEL as privatized that time. You can see the failures recorded, and we are still telling them that we work in the best interest of the Federal Republic at making sure NITEL is not unnecessarily guarded, liquidated. The Senate and the House of Representatives, we took decision that it should not be guardedly liquidated. They should look for people that can work on PPP, that will not even cost the government of the Federation a penny. We want to see people that are coming with money to invest with true intention. We want to see that they are doing things. Look at PPP exercise. When I came into office, I was in the US for course on PPP in order to do this job appropriately, not minding that I came into Senate from organized private sector. And we are doing this thing to help the country. What we are saying that nobody will sit as a Senate, nobody will sit anywhere to guidedly liquidated NITEL inappropriately, when we know that even the federal government, in the first instance, they are owing NITEL quantum of money. And all these things we kept telling them. I can tell you part of what we are doing. BPE sent invitation for people for guided liquidation advice. 5 of them called me back. I told them, in the best interest of this country, they must work and not to even take government asset into anybody's hand. It's illegal, and it's very much unpatriotic.
Senator Badara, if I could just quickly come in here.
We are working at making sure not the problem is created
come in here
and start running at...
You talked about the the preferred bidders, let's go back to the power sector now, privatization in the power sector. You talked about the fact that you ensured that many of the preferred bidders who came in were financially strong. Now, talking about financial status, we've seen in the past where many of them, especially in the case of NITEL, where they come forward to place their bids, they actually go to borrow money from Nigerian banks. Yes, they come with technical expertise or maybe technical foreign partners, but when it comes to money, finances, they borrow here, like I said, we saw in the case of NITEL. Can we be confident that, yes, the books of these companies or these preferred bidders have been checked, they are financially sound, and that going forward, we won't have a situation where the Asset Management Corporation of Nigeria will have to come in to start taking up loans that went bad along the way?
Yeah, it is unfortunate when the Transcorp came into the running of NITEL the other time, and the others come, the IILL. Look at the processes they have gone through. If seriousness has been taken into it, we will not get to where we are today. In the first instance, these errors has been committed. What we need to look as a citizen, at a responsible committee in the Senate, is to make sure we look beyond that. We look about companies that can thoroughly take NITEL from doldrum. We're looking at companies that are ready to invest into NITEL, and we are talking of the legacy issue. We are talking the amount being owed. I can tell you, better view verification, good auditing, people will be able to put to, I'm telling you, people are still interested. And as much as we are able to look about the amount being owed to all these banks, according to what BP told me, they said the banks, NITEL is owing 64 billion. If NITEL is owing, there's nothing we cannot negotiate. You are saying that the amount being owed is 351 billion. And nobody in BPE or NCP can tell me how much federal government of Nigeria is owing NITEL. You cannot tell me who is owing NITEL. And you cannot even tell me the worth of NITEL. So those are the questions we are asking. And without knowing having good answers to all this, as a responsible committee, how do we then give them approval to guardedly liquidated NITEL? No, it's not done that way. Business transactions is X plus X or X minus X. If you look at that, we know all this, and we're able to walk through it, and we know there are genuine people that Nigeria, as a nation, can call. Look at MTEL. We know the erratic services we are receiving from the likes of MTN, Airtel, and you see what is happening now. When Etisalat came on board with nothing, now having almost 15 million subscribers, you can see there are a lot of telecom operators worldwide, which we know when they take MTEL, they will turn it into a money-making machine. We know that telecommunications is a cash cow. But unfortunately, our own NITEL and MTEL is not made to be a cash cow as expected. We need a PPP arrangement, which if we have the desire to push it through, I know to be the best interest of the Federal Republic. Let it be on notice. Nobody's sales is incumbent all over the world. It's not done. And we are telling you that the best way we look at all this is to jointly work together as a nation. Because we know at the end of the day, one day we leave this position. When we leave, what are we going to say about ourselves? Now, we are saying this, the privatization exercise going on, even in all these stratas, we are saying due diligence must be done, and we should avoid greed. The problem we have mostly is greed and corruption. If not, almost 200 enterprises will not be sold, and we are now having almost about 20 thriving.